she was hating on the Queen Beyonce. So
I was not hating on Beyonce.
It kind of was hate.
No, it was not directed at all as hate.
When the Bow Down record came out.
Yeah, I love Beyonce.
And you was like, you know, first it was all let's have camaraderie as women. Now it's
well,
Bow
the thing
Down.
is that I met, seen Beyonce a few times. She's always a very sweet girl. To me, that just wasn't her, you know what I mean? Her thing. But I don't know, like dude said, she switched it up or something.
If somebody says, I love you, but I hate you, that's not homage.
So Keyshia Cole is stirring the pot again. And this time, she's coming for Beyonce and her entire come-up. According to Keyshia's wild claims, Matthew Knowles, Beyonce's own daddy, was allegedly pulling strings behind the scenes in some seriously shady ways to get her career popping. She says he was linking Beyonce up with certain industry execs for what folks are calling freaky favors to help boost her rise to the top. Word is, this is how she ended up with Jay-Z in the first place. She was just 18, and he was already pushing 30. Keyshia's out here saying that whole marriage, it wasn't love. It was a calculated move, a business strategy that spiraled way out of control. And now Queen Bee is tangled up in Jay's mess, with Diddy of all people. Beyonce allegedly thought Jay-Z was going to take her career in a cleaner direction, different from how her dad handled things. But nope, Jay might have been even worse. People are saying he wasn't just partying too hard. He allegedly picked up where Matthew left off, still playing the industry game with those same big execs. And yep, Diddy's name is right in the middle of it. Keyshia's always had a chip on her shoulder when it came to Bey, but these accusations, this is a whole new level. The streets are buzzing like crazy. Let's not forget, Keyshia already came for Beyonce's neck back in 2013 when B dropped that savage track Bow Down. That song had every R&B girl shook, including Keyshia. Bey was basically flexing, telling the girls, I'm the queen, stop competing and bow down. And clearly, Keyshia never let that go. Some folks started saying Beyonce's track wasn't just a general diss, it was direct shade at Rihanna. And guess what? Rihanna clearly felt the same, cause she clapped back real quick with her own heat. But what really shook people was when Beyonce's own fans, the Beehive, turned on her. And that's wild, because if you know anything about the Beehive, you know they ride hard for Beyonce. But this time, even they were calling her out. Fans accused her of doing a full 180. How you go from empowering women with "Who Run the World" girls to turning around and calling those same girls out their name, telling them to bow down? They weren't having it, and the backlash was loud. Instead of taking a step back and just owning the fact that she might have been out of pocket, especially if that heat was aimed at Rihanna, Beyonce doubled down. She got all defensive and didn't drop a single apology. She claimed she walked into the studio one day with a voice in her head telling her to humble the girls, so she hit the mic and laid it all down just like that. She said it wasn't meant to hurt anyone, but let's be real, she's still out here performing that track like it's nothing. She even kept it in her Ella performance, loud and proud. So clearly she's not worried about the backlash. That explanation, it only fired Rihanna and Keyshia Cole up even more. They dragged her on social media without holding back. Rihanna even hopped on Instagram, posted an article crowning her the Queen of Pop in the UK, and slapped on a caption that screamed confidence and shade at the same time.
Bow down B over and over from the woman who preaches empowering women is a bit unsettling to some.
I just feel like it's kind of, it's hard to swallow. Just very hard to swallow, having seen her in a different light.
I don't like it. I don't think it's her. I don't think it goes with what she represents.
I love Beyonce, but I honestly think that Jay-Z's putting thoughts in her head.
You're on a Pepsi can, for goodness sakes, to tell B words to bow down. And then you're saying girls run the world.
I only know how to be number one. I could use a challenge. How did that feel down there on your knees? Yeah, Rihanna dropped that bomb and the whole internet lit up. Anyone who was part of the Navy back then knows Rihanna wasn't holding back during that era. She was quick with the clapbacks. So, it didn't take a genius to figure out she was aiming that shade directly at Beyonce. But it didn't stop there. Things got even messier when Keyshia Cole and Brandy stepped in and backed Rihanna up. They weren't trying to play peacemaker, they were calling Beyonce out for being salty and fake. Keyshia especially popped off on Twitter, and her words, straight fire. She said, first it's women need to stick together. Now it's be better bow, Samate. But it's all good. Real ones keep speaking truth. And she didn't let up. She kept going. I've been real since day one. Respect that. Can't stand folks who act all self-righteous just when it makes them look good. LOL. But they still be talking slick when it benefits them. Get out of here with that. And Brandy, she had her own words too. She wasn't about to let Beyonce slide without catching some heat. She made sure her voice was heard, and it was clear she was backing Rihanna and Keyshia all the way. Even after all these years, you'd think Keyshia might have let it go by now. But nah. Word is, she's still tight about it, and she's not afraid to let everybody know. Lately, Keyshia Cole's been stirring up even more behind-the-scenes drama. This time spreading word that Matthew Knowles was allegedly linking Beyonce up with certain execs before she even met Jay-Z. And here's the twist. She's saying Jay wasn't just some new love interest. He was one of the many men Matthew supposedly pushed her toward for business gain. But according to Keyshia, Jay wasn't innocent either. She claims he later followed the same blueprint, allegedly setting Beyonce up in private meetings with powerful figures too. And one of the biggest red flags? Rapper DaBaby once claimed he met both Beyonce and Jay-Z at Diddy's house for a closed-door meeting. And folks been side-eyeing that moment ever since. Now here's where things get really disturbing. Back in the day, Jay-Z was accused of trying to keep Beyonce under his control by allegedly getting her caught up in substance use. Her former bodyguard, Uncle Ron, claimed he personally saw Jay handing her some heavy stuff, saying it was all part of keeping her in check and easy to manage, and that's not even the end of it. There's been talk for years about Jay targeting Beyonce when she was just 18, while he was already nearing 30. A lot of people still question how that relationship even started. Keyshia swears this was all part of the strategy, Beyonce being linked to Jay to boost her rise in the game.
The reason I put out Bow Down is because I woke up, I went into the studio, I had a chant in my head. It was aggressive, it was angry. It wasn't the Beyonce that wakes up every morning. It was the Beyonce that was angry. It was the Beyonce that felt the need to defend herself. And if this song never comes out, okay, I said it. And I listened to it after I finished, and I said, this is hot. I'm gonna put it out. I'm not gonna sell it, I'm gonna just put it out. People like it, great. They don't. And I won't do it every day because that's not who I am. But I feel strong. And anyone that says, oh, that is disrespectful, just imagine a person that hates you. Imagine a person that doesn't believe in you. And look in the mirror and say, bow down, bitch. And I guarantee you feel gangster. So listen to that song from that point of view. Again, if you didn't like it before.
And right after they got together, boom, Bey's career took off like a rocket. Suddenly, she had way more industry backing than Kelly and Michelle and started climbing faster than anyone expected. And let's not forget, Beyonce didn't really have a normal teen life growing up. Everything was business from early on. Beyonce's whole life's been tied to her career since she was a teen. She only had one boyfriend back in high school, and ever since she got with Jay-Z at 18, he's been the only man she's really known. That's why some people say she stayed with him, even after all the cheating rumors, because she built her entire world around him. Her career, her image, her family, everything's been linked to Jay from the jump. Truth is, she's never really had the chance to find out who she is outside of that relationship. She's been locked into the machine for so long that being independent ain't even in the picture. And just when we thought things couldn't get any darker, more tea just hit the streets. A blind item came out recently, and it's got everybody shook. It claims Beyonce has a secret escape plan worth $500 million to break free from everything. According to this source, she's been wanting to walk away from the music game completely and live a quiet, peaceful life. But the problem? The powers behind her keep pulling the strings and forcing her to keep performing because she's their biggest money maker. Insiders been whispering about this for a minute now. And if you're wondering why her bodyguard was seen chasing after her at that major award show not long ago, now you know. Word is, she's tried to dip multiple times and even talked about leaving the country. She's over the pressure, done with the control, and fed up with the people around her calling all the shots. They're scared Beyonce might vanish without warning, and honestly, they've got reason to be.
I know that you are a Beyonce fan.
I am.
You're a Beyonce fan, and she recently put out her new song, Bow Down. People are talking about it.
Opinion is opinion. I think art should be expressed the way it should.
Do you love the song?
I don't love the song, but I love Beyonce. I have to be honest, you know.
Word is, the singer's been battling heavy depression and has had dark thoughts. Her team claims they're worried for her safety, but let's be real. What they're really scared of is losing their golden ticket. She's been their biggest cash cow for years, and the control they've kept over her, that grip is slipping fast. Sources say she's close to breaking free. She's sick of being told what to do, fed up with her mom's tight grip, and over her husband's influence running her every move. She's ready to rebel, and once she does, there's no turning back. Now, no one really knows exactly where Keyshia Cole got this wild tea about Jay-Z setting Beyonce up for industry favors, or even if Keyshia really said all of it. But the streets, they're buzzing like crazy. People are starting to believe Beyonce's been keeping secrets, like she's hiding more than she's letting on. But since none of this is officially confirmed, all we can do is wait and watch what comes next. And of course, the internet had a lot to say. One person snapped, "I'm so tired of hearing about Beyonce like she invented music for women. I'd take Keyshia Cole's vocals any day. Girl can actually sing. Give her some real credit." And someone else chimed in with, "Wait, Keyshia was beefing with Beyonce? I didn't even know that. No wonder she's blackballed." The drama just keeps on boiling. But here's where it gets even more twisted. People are now saying Beyonce didn't just rise to the top off talent alone. There were moves being made in the background. Allegedly, certain execs protected her career while blackballing other artists who were seen as threats, including Keyshia Cole. Some folks believe Keyshia's career took a hit not just because of industry politics, but because she dared to speak out against Beyonce. Industry insiders have whispered for years that if you go against Queen Bee, you get quietly shut out. And that silence? That's what people say happened to Keyshia. Every time she tried to speak her truth, it was like doors kept closing on her.
Beyonce, I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people, he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce being, you know, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put it into perspective of the type of company I was in at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to.
Right.
Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man. That was dope.
Now fans are digging up old interviews and tweets, pointing out how other R&B queens like Amerie, Ciara, and even Tina Shea were all shining. Until suddenly, they weren't. And who kept rising while everyone else faded? Yep, Beyonce. Some fans are calling it out, saying it's like the industry cleared the path for her and pushed everyone else to the side. People are now questioning just how deep the influence goes. Was Beyonce just playing the game? Or was she the one pulling strings too? Even though there's no hard proof, the whispers are growing louder. And with Keyshia speaking up again, and Brandy backing her, folks are rethinking everything they thought they knew about the music game. Ain't no smoke without fire, right? Now fans are digging even deeper, and what they're finding, wild. Some people are saying Beyonce's entire brand was carefully protected from the very beginning, while others got tossed aside with no explanation. And it wasn't just Keyshia. Folks are pointing to artists like Carrie Hilson, who once threw a little shade at Beyonce in a song and then, boom, her career basically vanished overnight. People are calling it the Beyonce blacklist. If you said the wrong thing, threw the wrong kind of shade, or simply didn't play by the unspoken rules, the industry would ice you out. Just like that. No second chances. And fans are now realizing it's not just about talent, it's about control. Who gets it and who doesn't? Keyshia's fans are rallying behind her, saying she was always too real for the fake industry vibes. She didn't kiss up. That's why they shut her out, one person tweeted. Another added, "You mean to tell me Keyshia Cole, with all that raw talent, just faded away naturally?" Nah, something shady happened. Even interviews from back in the day are getting new attention. One clip shows Keyshia saying she didn't feel supported by the industry, and now people are starting to connect the dots. They're saying Beyonce's rise may have come at the cost of other women's careers. It's got people wondering, was it all part of the plan? Or did the industry just make sure there was only room for one queen? Either way, this story isn't going away anytime soon. And now people are starting to talk about something even deeper. The pattern. Every time a strong, talented R&B woman started to shine too bright, something would happen. Label issues, sudden career stalls, or public drama that just didn't make sense.
I'll say it, man. Yeah, Beyonce's on books. She's been on them for a long time, and you keep her there.
Fans are putting two and two together, saying it looks like there was a system in place to keep Beyonce on top by making sure no one else could get close. They're pointing to how artists like LaToya Luckett, who used to be in Destiny's Child, barely got real support when she went solo. Same with Kelly Rowland. She had the voice, the look, the talent, but every time she tried to break through, something would pull her back. And yet Beyonce always had the perfect rollout, the big budgets, the global stage. People online are asking, why did it feel like Beyonce always got the full machine behind her while the rest had to fight for scraps? And the idea that other black women were being dimmed just so one could shine? That's what's really got fans heated. Some even say this is why Keyshia stayed mad, because she saw it up close. She saw what went down behind the scenes, and speaking out cost her everything. She wasn't just bitter, she was blacklisted, and now the truth is finally bubbling up. The streets are watching, the fans are digging, and the questions just keep stacking up. Was Beyonce truly the chosen one? Or was the industry setting the stage for her from day one while quietly pushing everyone else out the frame? Now here's where it gets even crazier. Some folks think Beyonce's image as untouchable was never just about talent or hard work, but about the power she had backing her. The way she moved through the industry with flawless rollouts, surprise drops, and zero real scandals sticking to her? People are saying that level of protection don't just happen. It's built. There's talk that Beyonce had top-tier execs, powerful lawyers, and media insiders all working overtime to keep her name clean and her competition quiet. That's why when Keyshia, Carrie, or even Tina Shea spoke out or stepped out of line, they didn't just get dragged, they disappeared. Silent moves behind the scenes. No drama, just vanishing careers. One fan posted, "It's like anytime someone calls her out, they vanish like they never existed. Beyonce ain't just protected, she's insulated." Others are saying, this industry really made her a brand, and once she became that brand, no one was allowed to touch it. But now, the internet is turning a fresh eye on it all.
How? I feel like she never got to experience life with the different types of people, and the fact that he was so old, low-key, I feel like the only way she expresses herself is through her music. And I don't know them, obviously, but I'm just saying, just like by seeing the age gap and what happens between that age gap, she never got to live out.
Fans are asking how much of Beyonce's journey was natural and how much was manufactured. Did she even know what was going on behind the scenes? Or was she caught in it too, just doing what she was told to survive in a cutthroat game? Whatever the truth is, people are finally speaking up. And the more they dig, the more it feels like Beyonce's spotless crown might have come with a cost. one that other talented women ended up paying for in silence. Now fans are saying the real reason we never saw Beyonce caught up in public drama, no messy interviews, no leaked arguments, no viral meltdowns, is because everything around her was heavily managed from day one. Behind the glamour, there was a whole operation keeping things polished, quiet, and perfectly timed. Allegedly, her team was known to silence problems before they ever hit the surface. Whether it was a crew member spilling too much, a dancer hinting at mistreatment, or an artist throwing shade, somehow it all got buried. Fast. And fans are starting to believe that the price of keeping her image squeaky clean might have been other people's careers, voices, and stories getting erased. One post that went viral said, "You mean to tell me not one scandal stuck to her in over 2 decades? Come on now, somebody's cleaning house behind the scenes." And another added, "Too many artists have similar stories about being shut down or iced out. There's a pattern, and Beyonce's name keeps popping up in the middle of it." Even though Beyonce has always carried herself with grace and stayed away from messy public feuds, that silence is now being seen in a whole new light. Was it her choice to stay quiet? Or was she told to stay quiet while the industry cleaned up around her? People are finally asking, was Beyonce truly untouchable? Or was the machine just too powerful for anyone to get close enough to expose what was really going on? The mystery is getting deeper, and fans want answers. I used to just think her music fell off a bit and she quietly retired. And I swore her name was Keyshia, not Keyshia. But now? Who? With everything coming out, I need to hear your take. Do you believe the rumors that Beyonce blackballed Keyshia Cole for exposing too much? And what about those wild claims that Jay was out here, setting things up behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't hold back. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share if you're into this kind of messy deep dive. And click right here to watch another scandalous video that'll leave you shook. See you in the next one.